And then I wanted to show you what it is that we've been repotting. I should have started with this, and maybe I will edit it so that it starts this way. So what we've been repotting is this. This is one of the selects. These are all seed grown, but it's massive. Hello, I'm Howard with Brambles Botanicals, and today I'm going to be repotting some butterwort seedlings that we just grew. So yes, these are butterwort seedlings that we sowed on the 1st of January, 2026. Record date is April 8th, 2026. So these are just about 4 months old. Well, I'd call it 3. The cross is Sumidero 2 by Felici, which is a recreation of our Big Flirt cross. It has had some of the biggest flowers that I've ever seen on a butterwort. And there's also some variation. Some of them are flatter flowers, some of them are more ruffly. So I just really like this cross and decided to recreate it just to get some more, see if there's even more variety to unlock. Mathematically, it makes sense that you aren't going to get the entire expression of the genetic combinations within one seed set. So it makes sense to me to try doing things over and over again, as long as, you know, it's either popular or you like it. This one has kind of been both. In that microscopy Monday, I took a look at these under the microscope. You can see that there's some that still have those fungus gnats that we looked at. But things are starting to get a little crowded, so it is time to separate these out and move them to a bigger pot. All right, so to unpot these, first I'm going to take out the tag. I gotta lean in a little bit because since the subjects are so small, I've kind of brought everything closer, so hopefully it's easier to see. But I'm just gonna start grabbing them out. You know, really, there's not moss or anything, so I'm just going to transfer these directly. So here's the pot that they're going to go into. Let's make sure that that's framed okay. That should be good. All right. So I'm going to write a repot date. And then, yeah, I'm just going to transfer these directly because they're pretty clean. They just need space. All right. Then I like to do things in a nice little row. And sometimes I end up not even using the tweezers. Just use fingers. Yeah, just any amount of room is more than they have right now. These are very small. Bring it up to camera. Hopefully it's focusing. This is the phone camera. But then also, here's one. This is about the size of my thumbnail right now. The plant itself will get 4 or 5 inches across someday and produce a flower that is also about, I wouldn't say 4 or 5 inches across, but good size. Upwards of 2 inches. Okay, so yeah, just this, continuing with the row, moving on down to the next one. One. And my nerves are not typically good, but they've been even worse lately. It feels like the scene in Blazing Saddles where Gene Wilder says that he, like, look at my hand. How steady as a rock, but I shoot with this one. That's how this feels. All right, so I'm turning the pot. There's some grass in there. Don't want the grass. Yeah, just teasing these apart. Separation is half of it. Once you can get them to let go of each other, then it's mostly just finding a nice little spot for them. And it's also completely realistic that I need a second pot for these, but I might try to squeeze them all into this one because it's still more room than they had. Separate these guys out. Oh, man. I'm tired. Are you tired? I am tired. We are very grateful that it's for our business. It's been a good year so far. But we are also still making efforts just to wrap up repot season, and that is exhausting. Every year it's exhausting. And I am really ready to be on the other side of it. I'm gonna need a second pot. No. Yeah. And then like there's that one big one. It almost might get its own pot just to start. The problem with the tweezers is that they get stuff on them. And I gotta wipe them off constantly. And they often don't end up actually wiping very clean very easily. It's a little annoying. All right. We are making progress. It's amazing how this is a 2-inch pot. It's amazing how long it can take to get through a 2-inch pot. I probably shouldn't do that. Stick them in the corners. Yeah, I take it back. Okay. All right. Give it a little mist just to help them settle in. All right. So here, every time there's a perlite piece under. All right. So here's one pot. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do this second pot that I had prepped. I'm missing it just because things have also been pretty dry lately. All right. Yeah, this is just, it's incredible how many there are. At a glance, it looks like, oh, maybe there's 20, 25. Then you count them and it's like, wow, no, there's, 75. And because I am a masochist, I will probably count these and say in the video how many there were. And trying to get them upright can also be tricky. Okay, I'm going to try to get, this is still even in frame. Okay, cool. I'm going to move this down, center things a little bit more. Okay. So I'm doing perimeter now instead of rows because I want this big one to go in the middle here. So there's the big one. The big one does not always stay the big one. I've separated out seedlings before for vigor and then had them kind of just start to coast. So yeah, I wouldn't like indicate that that is already, you know, the most vigorous plantlet. It just happens to be the biggest one right now. That one got a little crunched. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be gentle. When you're the size of the head of a pin and you are living tissue paper, it's hard not to cause some damage. My big clumsy fingers. At least they feel clumsy right now. Woo! All right. There we go. So they are all separated out and placed in these two pots. So one 2-inch pot became two 3.5-inch pots. And then I wanted to show you what it is that we've been repotting. I should have started with this, and maybe I will edit it so that it starts this way. So what we've been repotting is this. This is one of the selects. These are all seed grown, but it's massive. So for example, here's what I would say is an average size pink flower. And then here's, like, those are next to each other. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, well, that is everything for this repot video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, if it was a nice calming break from life, please consider giving it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Adios. Okay, bonus part. Not sure if I'm gonna include this in the video at all, but here we go. So during the Microscopy Monday, I also looked at these Mornensis orchidioides by Gypsicola seedlings that are declining. Not sure why. All the other seedlings are doing really great, but these ones have actually had some pretty substantial die-off, which is really disappointing because they were glandy and stretchy and fun. They were like spidery looking. So I'm going to transfer some of these into fresh media to see if that helps. It seemed like there was a little bit of a fungus problem maybe. Pings are really sensitive to fungal treatments. Things like sulfur and everything they hate. So I can't really treat this with a fungicide. So I think for now, I'm just going to try transferring them directly. So here we go. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. It would let go. 7. 8, 9, and 10. 11. 12. 13 and 14 are barely there. Probably getting my head in here, but that's all I'm seeing. There is a piece of grass here. That is not a ping. That's grass germinating. All right, well, cool. Fungal decline? Question mark. Recreate. Okay. and a little spritzing, help us settle in. And those have been repotted as well. Hopefully, I don't lose them all. Like, even if I just have one survivor, that is something. Losing everything is definitely disappointing, especially something that looks interesting when it's so small. There was promise when it was, a couple millimeters. Okay. So, yep, throwing this in. Not sure if it'll be included, but I did both the things that we looked at under the microscope in the first Microscopy Monday. All right. Yeah. Oh, so exciting. Wow. Oh, I gotta turn off the humidifier. Uh-oh. Yeah, that noise is not great. Come on. Shh. There it goes. Goodness. All right. Make sure this looks good.